Welcome in this Christmas Eve edition of the Fantasy Showdown. It's not noon. We're a little early. That's right. Christmas came early today. That means you get myself and Justin, and we're gonna bicker over players. I'm gonna beat him this week for the first time not for the first time this season, but the last time this season. So without further ado, Justin, I hope you're cheered up. Let's start the show.
You're watching the Start Sit Showdown only on Fantasy Now Plus.
Fantasy football championships are on the horizon. I can see them, I can feel them, I can taste them. And we're going to help everybody win their fantasy football championship on the show today, or we're going to attempt to. Thank you for joining us on this Christmas Eve. I know you're busy, probably wrapping presents. I myself still have to go out shopping. I know I thought I was prepared, but more and more and more things come up. So that being said, Justin, how you doing, man?
I am doing peachy right now. And we already talked about my technical difficulties today, so we don't need to keep talking about it. But I went back through all the records from the season. We have tied twice this season, and you have beaten me twice this season. That's 4 out of 16 weeks that we've done this, which means I've beaten you 12 times.
It's pretty good.
Oh,
But who's counting? Who's counting?
Me. I am.
I'm not. So listen, we do this and sometimes we have fun. I take more chances than Justin does, but it's okay. I'm not that far off from you. I'm only 5. Yeah, I take a lot of chances. I'm only 5 picks behind you. So I cannot officially don't tell people that. Make people think it's like I have a chance to catch you. But I don't. But if I sweep you this week. So for funsies, we're gonna see. Yeah,
you'll get
5 off you.
If you sweep me, if you go 4-0 and I go 0-4, I will still be 1 up on you.
And that's what we're gonna do today, fellas. So without further ado, I see everyone's questions. We're gonna get to everyone's questions, but we want to get through these matchups that we've handpicked ourselves. And honestly, I already see a player that is being sprinkled into the chat, and he is in our lineup today when we talk about tight ends. He's in our debate. So let's get to that first. Let's knock out the tight ends. We initially had Harold Fannin versus Brock Bowers in your fantasy football championship. And then we just got news literally 15 minutes ago that Brock Bowers will be heading to IR. So we had to pivot to Dallas Goedert. So excuse me while I'm only going to allow Justin to go first because I have a strategy today. So Justin, who are you picking in this matchup? And yes, you're going first every time.
Yeah. I'm going first every time today.
You are.
I'm better at this than you are, so you have to figure out how I'm going before you just decide. As I said yesterday on our show, and as I told you this morning, I've done absolutely 0 notes. So this is all going off of, I'm just good at this. Clearly, because better at you than this. And both have been doing pretty good over the last couple of weeks. You mentioned another tight end that we could have talked about instead of Brock Bowers, and I was like, that's obvious. Kyle Pitts was way too obvious. But do people realize that Dallas Goedert has been pretty good in the fantasy playoffs, and he is tight end 5. Harold Fannin tight end 7. So both are really good. In fact, if you're in the championship this weekend, it's probably because you have one of these two. Probably Harold Fannin over Dallas Goedert. Goddard's got Buffalo this week. Fannin's got Pittsburgh, and they want to play a spoiler to the Pittsburgh Steelers because, well, everybody hates Pittsburgh Steelers, including the divisional matchup. This is a solely vibe pick here. David Njoku is still out, whereas in Philly, you still have AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, Saquon Barkley. All of those players still exist, but in Cleveland, you have Harold Fannin. That's all they got. Njoku is, I guess, questionable. He's expected to practice on Wednesday. Regardless, I think I'm going Harold Fannin here. He's been better for 4 weeks. Dallas Goedert just got good again in week 14. Remember, he sucked for quite a while. In fact, I told you everybody to drop him. So if he's in your lineup, nobody will listen to me, which is probably good. But I'm going Harold Fannin here. This is a vibe pick for me. Fannin fan club over here.
Listen, it's hard for me to go against Fannin. All notes, everything says go Harold Fannin. Heavily involved, in that Browns offense, that very exclusive, high-powered Browns offense over there. His points per game has been pretty decent in the playoffs, like you said, with Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert's just the known name, so I think more people will start him. It doesn't look like they have a trusted wide receiver over there in Cleveland because they just don't. So that's why Fannin has been stepping up his game with Shedeur Sanders, and of course taking advantage of the injury from David Njoku, unfortunately. I think Fannin has a better floor. I think his floor is safer. But I think Dallas Goedert can give you that upside because I think the Philadelphia Eagles in that Buffalo Bills game, I think it's going to be a shootout. Both teams are Super Bowl favorites. Both teams can put up points. Both teams are going to air it out, and they want to win that. Both teams need to win this game. I know I'm always going to pick against you. I'm just trying to put a case up for Dallas Goedert. It's hard for me to do, but that's it. More points scored, higher powered offenses. He's going to have more opportunities. Dallas Goedert is also getting a 20% target share from the Eagles, from Jalen Hurts. Like that's pretty good. You want 20% from your starting tight ends in fantasy football. Someone like an AJ Barner who shows out only gets like that 15 to 12% target share in certain games. So Dallas Goedert is a constant target hog from Jalen Hurts, but it's not consistent enough to make you feel good about it. That being said, I'm going to go Dallas Goedert. He's using the red zone. Buffalo Bills, cold game. They're not going to be airing it out. Devontae Smith, if he gets hit, he might just shatter into pieces. I'm not sure. I'm going to go Dallas Goedert here. Dallas Goedert. I like Fannin, but who's going to score more points? How about this? Who's going to score more real-life points, the Eagles or the Browns?
The Eagles.
So if you're playing the probability game of who's going to score the touchdown, because that's what we do with tight ends, the probability is Dallas Goedert.
But the probability also, I mean, if we're playing probability, there are more people that are likely to score touchdowns in Philadelphia. Who's going to score a touchdown in Cleveland?
Well, I'll tell you this: who leads all tight ends in touchdowns? Who leads all tight ends in touchdowns? Who does it? I can tell you who. Dallas Goedert. Yeah, he has 10.
It's pretty solid. Harold Fannin.
All right, 1-0, baby. Feeling good. Starting out 1-0 on the day. Merry Christmas, everybody. All right, our next matchup is going to be the quarterbacks. Let's jump into the quarterback position. Your favorite quarterback of all time, Trevor Lawrence, is going against your Colts. Are they playing the Colts, right?
They are.
Okay, so you gave me that look like that's wrong, Josh. I'm like, no, that's pretty right. Then we have Jalen Hurts, another Eagle, which is another reason why I didn't want to do Goddard, versus the Buffalo Bills. I know, it's fine. Again, since I dominated you on the first debate, I will let you go again.
This one's easy for me. The Colts defense can't stop running water. I've been saying this for a little bit now. They absolutely cannot stop running water. They might have Sauce Gardner back this week. It's probable. Or they're hopeful that they have Sauce Gardner back. But again, the Jaguars have been balling. Like, they have been running through teams the last couple of weeks. And what better way for the Jacksonville Jaguars to just end the Indianapolis Colts season on the road in Indianapolis and just put them away? Don't even give them a chance at getting into the playoffs, because if the Colts lose, they're out. So keep that safe. I think the Jaguars roll. I think Trevor Lawrence rolls. He hasn't thrown an interception since week 12, which Jalen Hurts just threw 3 weeks ago. And they got, again, the Buffalo Bills, who don't have the greatest secondary, but it's going to be a shootout for Philly. Trevor Lawrence rolled through Denver, rolled through Indy a couple weeks ago. He's literally just been rolling through teams. 75 points in the last 2 weeks. 75 points. Yeah. QB1.
It's
Can't believe I'm saying
insane.
it, but Trevor Lawrence is QB4 on the season.
It's stupid. I don't know how to say it other than it's stupid.
He was like in the 20s, like low 20s in the rankings earlier this season. It's wild to me. It's wild.
Yeah.
So I'm going Trevor Lawrence. So tell me why Jalen Hurts.
I'm gonna have to. I mean, it's guys. This is why I lose matchups, because the obvious is Trevor Lawrence. It's 1000%.
And pick Trevor Lawrence. Get a point at least.
No. Because what does that do? What does that do? Get a point? What? So I'm only down by 4 on the season. Come on.
You should go first next.
I will. I already know who you're picking.
Okay.
Jalen Hurts. Yeah, I do. Jalen Hurts. I'm picking him because, like I said, I have to in this situation. But no, again, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I do think it's going to be a shootout between the Eagles and the Buffalo Bills, even though both teams are very good defensively. Buffalo does have a great secondary. Them and Houston are the top 2 pass defenses in the league, so there is that. But Jalen Hurts doesn't need to throw the football to give you fantasy football points. Saquon Barkley has not been effective as he was last season. And honestly, Jalen Hurts hasn't been as effective on the ground as well. He only has 8 rushing touchdowns this year. He's always in double digits. You know what the difference between Jalen Hurts this year and last year? In all years? He's already hit his career high in passing touchdowns in a season. It's only 24, but to him, that's a career high. He's not rushing the ball as much when they get the goal line. It's not going to him. That could change in this Buffalo Bills game. With the secondary being so good for Buffalo, Jalen Hurts is going to have a lot of tush pushes. I can easily see 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns. Easily see that. Trevor Lawrence, on the other hand, yes, he's been phenomenal, but everything has to go right. I feel like everything has been going right. Everything has been going right their way. So it's hard to bet against Trevor Lawrence right now. But historically, man, you're going to really be kicking yourself if you start Trevor Lawrence and the bed on you, and you're like, wow, the guy who was ADP quarterback 20 whatever, I started him over future Hall of Famer Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has, I said it. And you know what? I met my daughter's boyfriend's dad for the first time. We just randomly in the mall. He's an Eagles fan. I saw the jacket. I was like, what a dirtbag. Then I talked to him and I'm like, man, he's a cool guy, whatever. But we agreed that Jalen Hurts, if he was on any other team, if he was on the Buffalo Bills, he'd be talked about as an all-time great already because he already has the Super Bowls in his back pocket. But he plays for the Eagles and nobody likes them. That's the difference in his skin color. But besides the point, he is an all-time great, and we don't respect him enough, and I don't understand it. It's ridiculous. So Jalen Hurts, for me, gives you both upsides of rushing and through the air. Suck it, Justin. And all you Jalen Hurts haters, I'm a big Jalen Hurts fan.
I love Jalen Hurts. I don't know why you think I hate Jalen Hurts.
Not you, just people. I was talking to Dirtbag Dave about it. I told him that. I said, if Jalen Hurts won these Super Bowls anywhere else, he'd be talked about as this and that.
I've actually started liking Jalen Hurts as soon as he got benched in the national championship for Tua. I immediately became a Jalen Hurts fan. I was like, I hope he dominates now. Like, I absolutely hope he dominates, and he's been way better than Tua in the NFL.
Of course he has.
I hate Alabama though. So
Jalen Hurts is a top 3 quarterback in the league, and nobody talks about it. But they don't respect.
Nobody talks about Jalen Hurts. Yeah. Next position, you're going first, right?
I hear more about loser Josh Allen. I'll tell you that.
That's true.
What?
You're going first next?
Yeah, I'm going to go first next. Let's go to the running back position. They play on the same football team. They're Jaylen Warren and they're Kenneth Gainwell. Now listen. The cool, trendy thing is Kenneth Gainwell. I understand that. Massively overachieved this season, averaging 12.9 fantasy points per game over guys like Trevion Henderson, Quinshawn Judkins, Kenneth Walker, David Montgomery, but not Jaylen Warren. Jaylen Warren's actually averaging 14 points per game. I hope you have the same statistics because that's what I saw on Fantasy Pros website this morning, and it's actually true. So I'm like, you gave me that question mark. What's going on? Listen, Kenny Gainwell's electric, right? We love him. He catches passes. He does this. He does that. He's a little Darren Sproles. He's a little guy. Then why does Jaylen Warren have more 20-plus yard runs than Kenneth Gainwell? Why? Why is Jaylen Warren being the more explosive back? It doesn't make any sense. Sure, you know, Kenny Gainwell, he has more catches, almost double the amount of receptions, almost double than Jaylen Warren. Why does he only have 100 yards more than him in receiving? Why? Is he as explosive as we think he is? I don't understand what's happening with these numbers. But hold on. That's because Gainwell is heavily targeted. All of his receptions, most of his receptions, come in the red zone where the money is made. Where the money is made. Matter of fact, he's only behind CMC in targets in the red zone at the running back position. Yeah, Kenny Gainwell. That Kenny Gainwell. So when you look at the numbers, it could be deceiving. Wow, he has 60-something catches, but only 300 yards. What's going on? You can't get that many yardage in, from the 20-yard line to the goal line. There's only 20 yards. So it's hard for him to break those runs if he's not being used in between the 20s. You thought I was going some other way, didn't you, Justin? That's right. I am. I'm going Jaylen Warren. Even all those stats were awesome for Kenny Gainwell. I get it. I know you're going Gainwell. That's why I'm going Warren. But he's also the lead back. He's the most safe. He has a higher rushing efficiency. They're going to be going to that on the ground. Who are they playing this week, Justin? Can you tell me? Can you tell me who they're playing?
No.
You don't know, do you?
Browns.
Of course
Browns. We already talked about it. Browns.
The Cleveland Browns, who are not good. I know people say that they're good on the defensively, but we saw Tony Pollard eat. We see running backs eat on them. They can be ran on. And on top of that, they're going to want to protect they're going to want to protect Rodgers and pass the ball off or run the ball off to or hand the ball off to these running backs instead of getting sacked and crushed by the sack leader. They don't want him to break that record. 100% they don't, unless he pulls a Brett Favre, which would be so iconic and cool. I think it'd be cool if Rodgers did that, by the way. But that being said, Jaylen Warren is the lead back, the one who's going to get the ball the more often. And if we're saying Cleveland's a tough defense, they're not going to score a lot of touchdowns, well, then I want Jaylen Warren. He's the workhorse. So sell me on Kenny Gainwell.
Well, I mean, like you said, Kenny Gainwell is the target hog. He gets all of the passing targets. He's utilized heavily in the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. Inside the 20, he leads the team, or he leads the running back position in points per game, total points. But the thing is, once you start getting inside the 5, that switches, and that switches heavily to Jaylen Warren. Jaylen Warren actually gets most of that stuff. Since week 15 in the playoffs, for the fantasy playoffs at least, Jaylen Warren is the only running back to touch the ball inside the 5. He's the only running back to touch the ball inside the 10. And it's not until we get inside the 15 is when Kenneth Gainwell finally has 1 rush attempt and 2 targets. That is when Kenneth Gainwell finally starts to become utilized. He's more utilized between the 10 and 20 than the goal line and the 10. So once we hit first and goal, Kenneth Gainwell is gone. So unless he catches it and runs it in the end zone, that's his bonus. I do love Kenneth Gainwell this season. He has carried my team very far and into the playoffs. I will be starting Kenneth Gainwell this week. But if I had the option to start Jaylen Warren, I'd actually start Jaylen Warren this week.
It sucks. This sucks. You
baited me. I told you baited me, and you thought I was going to go Kenneth Gainwell, not realizing that I can actually do research as well.
And I see your comments, Jacob. If you read the big bold letters on our show, it says questions will be answered at 12:30. We do this every single Wednesday. We usually have everyone wait till 12:30 because, and I understand it can be confusing, so I definitely apologize because we usually go live at noon, but Christmas Eve we decided to go a little early, so I apologize for that. We should have been more clear up front, but we usually get through our own showdowns, and then we give the last half hour or 40 or 15 minutes of a half hour to answer everybody's questions. So I apologize. Yeah. We should have been more clear on that.
We'll get you all your questions. So please stick around. We will definitely get in there and answer.
Yeah, Yubi, we're so rude. We're so rude. No, for real though, Jacob, if you're still here, I apologize, and I hope you come back one day. All right, let's get to the last showdown. The wide receivers. I'm changing mine to Gainwell. by the way. I'm allowed to.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You already picked.
You go first. You go first. You do this. You do the. I'm mad at you. You do the opening.
You're just mad because I was already gonna pick Jalen Warren. You picked Jalen Warren specifically because you thought I was gonna pick Kenneth Gainwell.
Yeah,
that's why you're mad at me.
You thought I was going Gainwell with all those awesome stats, though.
I didn't. I knew you were going Jalen Warren because you told.
You think you know me. You think you know me.
No, I do. So, Jauan, Jennings, and Courtland, Sutton. Sutton's got the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City, and Jauan Jennings has Chicago at San Francisco. So they're back home this week. Of course, you know, Jauan Jennings has put up 18 points in the last 2 weeks, and he's gotten 5 touchdowns in the last 4 games. So a lot of points there. Courtland Sutton's gotten 3 touchdowns in the last 4 games, but has gotten a higher ceiling. Lower floor, 12 points, 24 points is his ceiling there. Courtland Sutton's getting a lot more targets. I miss the days when Troy Franklin existed on that offense, and Troy Franklin no longer. I mean, he's no longer use. Like, I don't even know if you can use Troy Franklin anymore. Unfortunately, Courtland Sutton has gone back to being Courtland Sutton and getting 10+ targets. Jauan's not so much. The 49ers actually spread the ball around a lot. He's only getting 5 or 6 targets a game, which is tough. Both of these teams are also fighting for the first seed in their conference. If the 49ers win out the season, they do get the number 1 seed. If the Broncos win out the season, they also get the 1 seed. I think actually the Broncos just literally have to win this week, and I think they clinch it. So both of these are going to be high scoring. They're both going to want to do their thing. I am going to go with the guy who gets more targets, though, and that is Courtland Sutton against a weaker Chiefs defense. The Chiefs are falling apart, absolutely falling apart. At this point, there is no reason to win a game. They get a better draft pick, I guess. They've been eliminated for a couple weeks now. I think the Broncos are going to get a get-right game after getting stomped by the Jaguars, and they're going to stick it to their divisional rival, the Chiefs.
There we go. I'm going to give you my answer in a second. Just want to let everybody know who is new here. Yes, we usually answer questions at 12:30. If you have a question, throw it in the chat. We're going to get to it right after this Jauan Johnson versus Courtland Sutton debate. If you're just now joining us, we've already talked about Jalen Hurts versus Trevor Lawrence. We already talked about Jalen Warren versus Kenneth Gainwell. We already talked about Harold Fannin versus Dallas Goedert, who we had to sub in because we initially had Brock Bowers with that news coming in. So we will get to everybody's question after I tell Justin why Jauan Johnson is going to be my start over Courtland Sutton, because I have
Jauan
to.
Johnson?
Jauan Jennings.
Jauan Johnson?
I would. Over
I didn't know that's an option.
Jauan Jennings. God, this guy's a bum. No, Jauan Jennings was the guy I was screaming all offseason. This guy will not break out. This guy will be useless for your fantasy football team. So it actually pains me that I'm picking him this week. But George Kittle will miss this football game, what are the real options? Like, I know they spread the ball out a ton, but Jauan Jennings gives you that splash play. He does give you that splash game. He can come out there and give you a week winning performance. That's how the 49ers operate. Last week, 15.7 fantasy points. Nothing great, nothing phenomenal, but he still gave you some decent numbers. I understand that he's the most inconsistent wide receiver in the world, and I know you don't want to start him. Oh, no, he didn't give you 15 points. What am I looking at?
What are you looking at?
Yeah, what am I looking at? My computer's, oh my goodness. I'm looking at Anquan Bolden. How did I click on him? Anyway, I don't know how. You tell me. I'm not the IT guy of the show. I'm just the dumb guy of the show, apparently. But Jauan Jennings, I know I'm such a moron. But Jauan Jennings is for sure. I'm picking him over Courtland Sutton just because I need to catch up. He scored 18.7 fantasy points last week. Did Jauan Jennings last time he played? So I like Jauan Jennings. Let's go. Let's answer questions. I'm going to go 4-0, and I'm going to be so mad because I'm only going to be down 2 games because you cheated.
How did I cheat? I picked a player.
You told me to go first. You double baited me.
The double bluff.
You got me, man.
All week I was on Kenneth Gainwell, and then I changed it.
Yeah, you did.
Or did
Jamie.
I?
Let's get to
Or
those.
was
Let's
I
get to
always
these
Jalen
questions.
Warren? Let's get to the questions. Yeah.
Let's go.
First,
First off, I just want to say, Jamie, I saw you in the chat earlier. If you're still around, what's going on? Merry Christmas. I still rock out to that song. At least
I
once a
actually
day.
listened to the song before Josh got in the studio today because it was loaded up. I was like, oh, let's listen to the song today. Need some help with help for my finals matchup. Full PPR. I'll drop the team. Okay, so here's the team. He's got Jacoby Brissett is QB1. Wide receivers are George Pickens, Courtland, Sutton. He's got James Cook, Derrick Henry, Kyle Pitts starting, Michael Wilson, Nero, and the Giants. Bench, we got Rodriguez, BTJ, Tyreek Hill's not
Washington, Tyler
Warren.
Opponent projected to win by 6.
Oh. Dang, are you in like an 8-person league if he's projected?
Yeah.
You got a stud lineup. The only thing I would do is maybe swap out Henry for Dowdle.
I mean, you could swap out Henry for Dowdle, but you could also keep him. I don't. To me, that's a wash. Defenses. If there's any defenses out there, I'm not sure who the. We don't play. I really don't play in any leagues with defenses.
I would definitely
the Raiders. But they're playing the Raiders, so that's a very good matchup right there. So that's solid. I wouldn't change anything. You're going to be too cute. You'd be too cute to change Parker Washington for Michael Wilson. That's too cute. Michael Wilson's been balling out.
Projections don't mean anything either. So I was projected to lose by 30. I won by 30. So let's go. Okay. Next one. If Kittle is out, should I pick up Fannin Jr. or Strange this week in non-EPR? I'd pick up Strange. Should I pick up and play the Lions defense versus the Vikings or the Pats defense versus the Jets? Or just play Texans defense versus the Chargers or Seahawks defense versus the Panthers. A lot of options here. So we got Seahawks, Texans, Lions, or Pats. I don't want to get super cute. I kind of want to go with the Pats.
I don't want to get super cute either. I kind of want to go with the Pats. That they can't move the football. They can't do it.
Just have nobody. But the Brees can't even go. Like who's gonna score?
But we're also but defense. We're also looking for special team ability to score, with a punt return, kick return. We're also looking at the ability of sacks, turnovers. Like look who's gonna get sacked out there. So to me, who's got the more aggressive pass rush? It could be the Texans against the Chargers. It could be like that's why it's a possibility. But I don't want to get too cute. I think that you could also look at the Vikings. Their offensive line is in shambles. That's been the whole season. Is Carson Wentz gets killed, JJ McCarthy gets killed, Bronsmayer gets killed. So I could definitely see why you'd want to start the Lions defense too, because their offensive line is dog water. It's unwatchable. They can't block anybody. So I understand if you want to get that sack fumble, that's a great opportunity as well. So I understand why there's so many options. Too many good matchups here. And you feel like you're going to pick the wrong one. That's the problem. So I understand the concern. So final answer, sneaky, Lions, Detroit. That's my sneaky answer.
I have Kelsey, Britton Strange, or Taysom Hill. Britton Strange.
Strange. Things are getting strange.
Lastly, would you play Harvey or Kyron in standard? And would you play Jeff? Oh, let's start with Harvey and Kyron first. In the standard league.
Since it's standard, Kyron's been getting a lot of touchdowns taken away by Quorum. In standard leagues, that's huge. That's massive.
That's huge, yeah.
Whereas Harvey, on the other side of things,
is getting touchdowns.
He's getting the touchdowns. He's getting the play. He scored a touchdowns in 4 straight games.
I think I go.
I'm going to go Harvey.
I think I go Harvey.
I'm going to go Harvey.
Justin Jefferson or Brian Thomas, man. The fact that you made it to the championship with Justin Jefferson and Brian Thomas on your roster is amazing, because we have 3 players that we have nominated as our bust of the year, and those are 2 of them. Which I need to plug that as well here shortly. Okay, so Justin Jefferson or Brian Thomas Jr. I think I go Brian Thomas Jr. Is that gross?
This is
hold on.
No disrespect to Ray Gamer, but this is a stupid question because they should be starting in real life. Like if we were back in real
Right.
life, out this bizarro world, they should be starting. I don't,
Who's the quarterback this week for the Vikings? That's the problem. Is it Brosmer? I think it's Brosmer. Yes, Brosmer is the starting quarterback this week.
Yeah.
Against the Detroit Lions. Oh God, I think I go Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah, Brian Thomas.
I know
Jr.
Justin Jefferson he has 8 targets the last 2 weeks, 16 total, but that was with JJ McCarthy. I think I go Brosmer here. All right, Brian Thomas Jr. here.
Brian Thomas Jr.
As I mentioned, we have fantasy awards coming up. If you go to our website, and I'll drop the link here in just a moment in the chat. If you go to this website, you can vote for your fantasy awards this year, and do that because we are going to have our own show at some point during the offseason, shortly after the Super Bowl. We will have our awards show, and you get to pick some of the awards. So go there, go to that link, vote today. It's also free, so just do it. Next up, we've got Jauan Johnson or Dalton Schultz.
Yeah, Jauan Johnson is coming back. He's back, man. Like he might not be putting up those 15-point games he did earlier on in the season, but he's getting close to double digits. I know he had that stretch weeks 13 through 15 where he didn't. Last week he had that 8-catch, 89-yard performance. It's pretty clutch. Dalton Schultz needed touchdowns the last 2 weeks to be relevant. I know he had an 8-catch game, 76 yards against the Cardinals, but against the Raiders, the production wasn't there. He needed that touchdown to perform. Dalton Schultz, that's pretty much his career. I mean, recent career, because if you look at his receiving yards, he's not getting them. I'm going to go Jauan Johnson.
Both are top 10 in the playoffs so far. Well, 15 and 16 weeks, 15 and 16. Schultz has gotten quite a bit of targets the last couple of weeks. Got the Chargers this week. That's the problem. I'm going to Jauan Johnson. Championship time for context: 1 QB, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 2 flex, kicker, defense. Okay, so and we're looking at half-point PPR. Starters are So May, Bijan, Rico, JSN, CD, Fannin, Genty, Marks, Seattle kicker, Lions defense. Bench is Sampson, who's I think is out this week. Reed, Egbuka, Hunter Henry, but I think you keep it.
I'm not making those changes.
Not making any changes.
Yeah, you're fine. Hey, Jacob, if you're still here, cool. I'm assuming your name is Jacob. Jacob, it's really cool. Also, your team's awesome. That's a Josh team right there. That's the team that I would build. Like, doesn't that look familiar to a team I would build? So well done.
It does look like a team you would build, especially with the JSN and Genty.
CD, Genty, yeah.
Yeah.
Do I go back to Monday? Do I love Genty? No.
Tonjes or Schultz? There is a chance that George Kittle does miss time. He has a low ankle sprain. So in anytime Kittle misses, Tonjes kills. As soon as Kittle came out, Tonjes caught a touchdown. They didn't call it a touchdown. They didn't even review it. He got a touchdown though. But he immediately was an impactful player. I think I'm going Schultz here though.
Yep, Schultz is more safe.
Devontae Smith or Luther Burden if he plays.
Oh, Devontae Smith, I like him. But are we going to really trust a rookie receiver with Caleb Williams on the Chicago Bears in a tough spot? When's the last time anyone, like even Romo Dunze, we can't even trust that guy on that team when he's healthy?
Well, since Devontae Smith has basically stopped playing, Luther Burden has taken that spot up until last week, obviously because he was injured. But he's been getting 6+ targets for a while now. So I think I do go Devonta Smith, though. He does get a ton of targets.
Yeah, I mean, I like Burden. Don't get me wrong, but he doesn't give you the upside of Devontae Smith. Smith is going to could potentially give you a 2-touchdown game, where I don't think Luther Burden has that in him.
Yeah,
I just don't.
Got a couple: Trevor Lawrence or Brock Purdy. I'm going Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence against the Colts, yeah.
Tyler Warren or Dalton Schultz. I'm going Dalton Schultz.
I'm gonna go Dalton Schultz, R.I.P. Tyler
Devonta
Warren.
Smith or Drake London. I think if Drake London plays, I think I go with Drake London.
Drake London's in. We're plugging in London. Monitor the practice
I mean,
reports.
he got 8 targets last week from Kirk Cousins, 3 receptions, which is low for him, but it's also his first week back. So
first week back, and has he played with Kirk since his injury, or did he get hurt with Penix? I forgot.
I think he
That's
got
the
hurt
chemistry
with
thing.
Penix.
That's the chemistry thing too. Coming in with a new quarterback, that could be different. But I do like
hurt
Drake
in week
London.
11. So he played like half a game with Kirk Cousins. What do you guys think of Goddard this week? I picked up Taysom Hill, but I don't want to get cute with it. No,
Don't get cute.
Goddard. Just start Goddard.
Well, we talked about Goddard heavily up the top of the show. He's leads the league in touchdowns at the tight end position. He's getting nearly a 20% target share with Jalen Hurts on that football team. High scoring offense, the high profile matchup this week with the Buffalo Bills. We like Goddard this week.
Woody Marks or Michael Wilson?
I will always go Michael Wilson. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, he only got 3 targets last week, 2 receptions, but he got a touchdown, 13.2. That was a worry when Marvin Harrison came back, because every time Marvis played in a game, Michael Wilson has gotten single-digit targets. That concerns me, to be honest. Like that, like I don't know why it changes that much, because it's not even like Marv got 3 targets and Michael Wilson got 3 targets. How did they both combine for 6? That doesn't equal 16 targets that Wilson usually gets. Woody does get points, but it's not going anywhere. It's all rushing yards, just straight yards. He's not getting into the end zone nearly as often. I think you have to go with Michael Wilson's upside there.
Yep, that's what I was going to say. Is when you're plugging in Woody Marks in your lineup, you're saying this is 8 points. When you're plugging Michael Wilson in your lineup, it could be 3, but it could also be 30. Woody Marks will never get you 30. I guess that's my strategy of playing fantasy football. I like to shoot for the highest scoring players, the potential of them.
Is the song posted somewhere? No, but I'm actually uploading it to YouTube. I'm working on getting it posted. I have a couple more things I got to do for that video. And this has to do with that defensive question way back at the start where you said, I think the Lions defense versus the Vikings. I said Pat's defense. They do have a really good returner that actually does return it for touchdowns. So that's something to think about. Yeah. Fairbairn or Aubrey. Let's use more about Aubrey is the best kicker in football. He is the best kicker in football. Cowboys got who? Can they get to the end zone? They're going to kick a lot this week. I'm going Aubrey. I don't think you can sit Aubrey. I just don't know how you say. Who's?
Drew, he says non-PPR, by the way. So did we answer his question as PPR?
Not yet. We're still on the question above it.
Woody Marks and Michael Wilson.
Woody Marks or Michael Wilson.
That changes some things.
That does change some things, actually.
That changes a lot of things. Okay, Drew. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut off the kicker discussion. It's just,
no, you're fine. I still think I'd go Michael Wilson. 4 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks, and you got Cincinnati this week. I've been saying the one thing the Bengals can stop is the wide receiver.
But when you have a player who not only touches the ball through the air and could match the amount of targets that your wide receiver Michael Wilson can get, and also add on top of that 12 opportunities through the ground, that's more opportunities for yardage. Whereas that's kind of important. It changes a lot of things. Michael Wilson's still safer, but Woody Marks is still in play. Like Michael Wilson's still in. Like I would still pick him, but I looked at it as this is a wide gap. Why are we talking about it? But I didn't want to disrespect you. But now it makes sense.
Yeah, I think this does lean towards Woody Marks, assuming that he's fully healthy, because he's getting more opportunities to get yardage, like you said. So, back to that kicker question. I guess the Texans have the ability to kick more. They have the Chargers this week. I think I'm still going Aubrey. Kickers are really hard to decide on. Let's see.
Flip a coin. Flip a coin.
It's not reliable. Full PPR. Pick 2. Michael Wilson, JMO, Diggs, or Waddle. And happy holidays to you as well.
Full PPR, Michael Wilson, JMO, Diggs, or Waddle. I knew Diggs would be a question today since last week he decided to go nuts. Waddle has a good matchup, but he doesn't have a good quarterback. Michael
Diggs
Wilson, we're plugging
Jets.
in. And I don't know if I can start any Lions offensively because Jackson Dart only threw the ball 13 times because, in case you guys didn't know, the Minnesota Vikings have 11 Hall of Famers on their defense. So it's going to be difficult for Jared Goff and those and Jahmyr Gibbs. I hope they can even get 1 yard in that game.
Your sarcasm is so bad, man.
No,
I think I'm going Diggs and am I going Diggs? New York. Yeah, I think dang, man. He's so like he's either really good or not, or really bad. Like there's no middle ground for him.
Michael Wilson, Jameson Williams, keep it simple.
Okay.
That's what I would do. Or unless you want to trust Jalen Waddle couldn't get it done with Tua. Jalen Waddle's not really getting it. Like he has his games, but his games are 14 points these days. Jameson Williams is playing for Jared Goff, a better offense, a well-oiled machine that's going to score points. They're not like the New York Giants who don't really have that number 1 option. It's not going to be a Jackson Dart situation. I was just being badly sarcastic. Horribly sarcastic.
Do I start Chris Rodriguez over Swift or Harvey this week? No.
I like Harvey. And
Chris Rodriguez is the third one there for me.
And there's a comment above from Tyler, which I get. Devontae Smith is not reliable. You're kind of right and you're kind of wrong on that. Just it's somewhere in the middle. He is demanding 8 targets a game, and he's getting a 25% target share from Jalen Hurts. You would love that from your wide receiver 1. It's just coming down with the football and getting the yardage. So the targets and opportunities are there. You're just not happy with the results. So he's reliable as in it's going to hit, but you're right, not as often as you'd like. So to be fair, as a redact from a previous conversation we had.
D'Amico isn't afraid to kick field goals with the defense he has. Fairburn as a cheat code. That's fair. Fair.
I haven't played with kickers in a while, so I'm sorry guys, I'm a little off.
I usually just try to pick up whoever is scoring the most points week to week. Marks or Diggs?
Man, I knew Diggs was going to come up a lot this week. Every time he goes off, he's a superstar, right? Not anymore, but he's going to go down as one of the best receivers of his generation, of course.
Wide receiver 23 this year.
I know. But what do you mark?
PPR, I'm going with Stephon Diggs against the New York Jets.
Sure.
I understand that. I understand what he marks. Just they have the Chargers. They're both playing for something. The Jets are playing for nothing. I don't think they're even going to be able to be competitive.
Just don't be prepared for that high usage of Stephon Diggs. Again, you want to temper your expectations. He's not going to put up those yardage. I don't see it back to back. He hasn't done all season to prove me that he could do that.
I mean, so in Baltimore last week, 9 for 10, 138 yards, 22.8 points. His last time he got 10 plus targets was against the New York Jets with the 11 targets, and he caught 9 of them for 105 yards.
How long ago?
Week 11. So
that's when that guy.
4 games before that.
That's when week 10, I called him a tight end, but in a wide receiver position. And that one guy commented after that game, "Oh, I thought he was a tight end." And then Stephon Diggs put up tight end numbers for the next 3 weeks until the Baltimore game.
No Booty or Douglas this week, potentially. So,
yeah,
I'm going Diggs. I would go Diggs.
Yeah, I know.
I think Diggs is a start this week. So,
what's going on?
What's up, Craig? Well, Josh.
Do we get to enjoy our Christmas? Do I finally get a Christmas break? Listen, guys, he is like the freaking Grinch, the Scrooge, making me work on Christmas Eve. I finally get to go enjoy my family. Yeah. yeah, finally get to go enjoy my family, and I hope you guys get to enjoy your families as well. Don't get too stressed about fantasy football this weekend, guys. It's just a game. Yes, we play for prizes, we play for money, we play for whatever we play for. But at the end of the day, it's not worth ruining your holiday over. It's not worth losing friendships over, which we've all seen. It's not worth all that nonsense. So enjoy the football, have fun with it. And if you win, celebrate. And if you lose, just be grateful that we could play this game. And we're here. So I know I'm getting mushy. I understand that, but hey, that's just who I am. Surprise, I'm not a jackass. That's just my personality on camera sometimes. But that being said, Justin, I hope you have a wonderful Christmas with your family as well. And to everyone on Fantasy Now Plus. And it's been a great year. It's been a really, really phenomenal year for us. So thank you to everybody. And Juno's Dowdle. Oh, Craig has a question.
I also think Alan will play this week. So last questions. I'm not playing the normal theme song on the way out, so we'll play the anthem so everybody can listen to that as well. Yeah, thanks for sticking with us all season, guys. This is the championship weekend. This is the final start-sit showdown of the year. We do have fantasy playoffs coming up soon, so as soon as all the teams are locked in, you can go and pick your teams. But to be able to do that, there is a link on our website. If you go to our main page, fantasynowplus.com, there is a tab at the top that says Playoff Fantasy. You just enter in your email, and we will send you an email once those are ready to go. So just because the season's ending doesn't mean fantasy has to join that today.
We have more questions. We could stick around.
We do. Hurts or Purdy?
Man, Purdy's so good. But Hurts, I'm riding with Hurts this week. When my rankings come out after the show, I'll have Hurts in the top 5 for sure. This week, I'm a big Hurts fan this week.
Should I roll with the Saints D or pick up the Patriots on waivers? I have $82. I can probably get them. Yeah, I would pick up the Patriots D.
Patriots. Yeah. Did we get the Dowdle, Carter, or Sampson? We like Dowdle.
Yeah, we said Dowdle. We whispered Dowdle. T-Law or Brissett? Oh, God. Trevor.
Man, Trevor Lawrence against the Colts, man. We talked about him up front in the showdown.
I hope Trevor gets like 4 points this week. But I'm being realistic.
We're telling people to start Trevor. You hear this? The freaking Scrooge himself.
As a football
start
fan,
Trevor Lawrence, but I hope he gets 4 points.
Me as a football fan hopes that Trevor Lawrence does not do well this week. But me as a realist will start Trevor Lawrence because he's going to score like 25 plus points this week. So
what a dirtbag.
Trying to make sure you subscribe. We're 3 away from 1K. Yeah, 997. It's crazy this week.
I won't do a dance on stream.
Josh will dance. Well, never mind. I won't tell everybody what your goal was for 1,000 last year.
It didn't happen, so it's fine.
It didn't happen. You're right. Juno, also, you're welcome. May or Brissett? I think I'm going May here. I don't even know who the Cardinals play this week.
Listen. May, I Brissett got you.
They got Cincinnati.
I know. So it's difficult, right? Like it's difficult.
But the Patriots got the Jets.
I know. It's difficult.
I mean,
Brissett, we finally saw the first kink in his armor for the first time.
Yeah. And is that signed to say, or is that, just a one-off?
But Drake May's missing, all those players that are just kind of cast-offs that aren't really, really superstars. But it doesn't matter. I feel like Drake May always puts up numbers. It doesn't matter who it is. The last time Drake May hasn't been a top 12 quarterback on the week was week 9 against Atlanta. And then before that, week 5 against Buffalo. He's always a top 12 quarterback option this week or this year. I'm not going to get cute. I'm going to stick with May.
Yeah. Sun God loves playing in Minnesota.
And I'll say this too, as far as your fantasy football matchups, it feels much better to lose with your people that you trust than if you put in that cute player that we're all going to do this weekend anyway, and you lose because of that cute player. That's the worst feeling in the world. Like in your league, if that I benched Genty, I know I would have lost him no matter what, so it makes me feel a little bit better. But if I would have lost because I benched Genty because I got cute, which I did, I would have been upset with myself. But I'm glad that he went off on me on Monday Night Football, so it didn't matter.
It's true. I would much rather lose starting Amon-Ra St. Brown and then he get a dud because for whatever reason you're just like, well, why would I have benched Amon-Ra St. Brown in any league? Like that's crazy. So yeah. Pitts, Patriots, Saints, Rams, Cleveland. Which one? I have all 5 also playing keep away. I think you go Patriots.
Yeah, we go Patriots.
Jets are going to punt the ball a lot. That's going to be a lot of special teams points, a lot of opportunities to score. So yeah, and we just got a scored post. I just picked up T-Law today. I got here with Brissett. Yeah, I got to the championship also with Brissett. I think you still got to go T-Law though. Josh, I have a question for you. Do I start Lamar Jackson if he's healthy, or Jacoby Brissett?
Brissett. It's stupid, but I'm gonna go Brissett. It's so dumb.
Yeah, it's really dumb.
It is so dumb. This year is dumb. I mean, I'm glad everyone's in the championship here. I'm in a couple championships, so I can't say all bad teams made the championships. But all the teams I truly cared about this season, all of them, all the teams that I couldn't lose, my best teams I've ever assembled, all got Kyle Pitts or whatever it may be. And it's like, or Jackson Dart. It's like, what happened?
Pick one. Matt Collins, Troy Franklin, or Keenan Allen.
Matt Collins. That's who I'm going to go. Yeah. I'm going to go Mac. But Craig wants to know Michael Wilson.
Yeah, I was going to say Michael Wilson or T. Higgins here.
I like T. Higgins. He's involved a lot with Burrow being back. Michael Wilson, of course, superstar with Jacoby Brissett. But I'm going to go T. Higgins, more rapport with Joe Burrow and more involved in that offense.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence or Josh Allen. Oh, God, man. This is the week. This is where we are, man.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Trevor Lawrence. No, but we just said start the guy. Josh Allen's going to have to show up against Philly. That's the thing. He can't just hand the ball off to James Cook like he did with the Browns. He's going to actually have to show up in Philly. And if they don't win, that it's a less likely chance of them making the playoffs. Or did they already clinch? I don't even remember if they clinched or not this last weekend. So I feel like you have to go Josh Allen. Josh Allen's QB1 for a reason. I would be so mad if I sat Josh Allen this week. They did make the playoffs, but they can still fight for the division. So I would be really upset if I sat Josh Allen and he scores 40.
You're right. We just start Josh Allen. He got you there, and he's a superstar. Trevor Lawrence is just becoming one, hopefully.
Yeah. Playing Puka and Stafford, I need Nico, Sun God, McBride to have a day like week 15. I'm not supposed to be here. You are supposed to be there, man. You made it. But it's fine. Puka can't score 45 every week, right?
I hope he does. In one of my leagues.
Half point tight end premium, need to flex one. Breece Hall, Debo, Coker, Shaheed, Gadsden, and Barner.
I hate Breece Hall. I am so mad that I roster him in like 1,000 leagues. I am so mad. So I don't even want to answer. Like, it should be Breece Hall, and what are we at? Like, why? December 24th, Christmas Eve, we're going Breece Hall or Debo or Coker or Shaheed. What are you going with? Pisses me. This question pisses me off, Robert. Only because this shouldn't be a question, but here we are. And Breece is the reason why I'm losing a lot this year. So I'm not going to go him.
Not Gadsden. I'm not going Gadsden.
I feel like Coker should have had such a better game last week against Tampa Bay. It's just he wasn't heavily targeted at all against Tampa Bay. I actually am a fan of Jalen Coker and what he is able to do, but he, again, not being involved. Just 5 targets against Tampa Bay. You don't want to see that. Barner, on the other hand, can give you 14 points or literally 0 points because he's not heavily involved in that offense. They can't support him and JSN and Cup and whoever else they have, Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet. They're not that kind of offense. We go Shaheed? Did we break it down to Shaheed? Did I just eliminate it down to Shaheed?
Yeah.
I did.
Sad, but yeah, I think you do. Henderson, if he plays, Rico Dowdle, Dylan Sampson for half PPR flex.
She's not involved either. Henderson, if he plays, Rico Dowdle, Dylan. I'm going to go Rico Dowdle. He's not going away. Chuba lost that job. I was wrong 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. All right. Now I think we are done.
Now can I go, boss?
Yeah. Everybody, for real though, thanks for joining us all season, dropping your questions in the chat. I would go Corum.
We like Blake Corum. He's taking all the touchdowns away from Kyler, and it's so annoying.
But if you guys have any more questions, I want to continue answering your questions. So if you drop your questions in our video after this, I'll go back and answer them. If you go to our Discord, I'll drop the link also to the Discord. You can always ask all of your questions there as well. We have an entire channel and a whole team of analysts that will be quick to answer. We also have a community that will also help you answer these questions as well. So join the Discord, get all of them answered there.
They're not live tonight, are they? Michael and Topher.
I think we're still trying to figure that out. So I think our next live show is going to be Sunday at 11. So for start sits.
Have a great holiday. I hope you guys get whatever you want from Christmas. I hope you enjoy your kids opening presents. That's what I'll be doing. And again, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. And if I don't see you till Monday, because Monday will be my show, that is going to be fan or listener appreciation show. I want to know your championship rosters. Jump in my chat on Monday afternoon at noon. Let me know your championship. I want to know how much you won by and who's your MVP of your team. So fan appreciation day, Monday, live noon, Josh Kimmel. And Justin, you want to join? You want to join for that one?
Maybe.
We'll see. We'll see if he joins.
Maybe.
Until
we'll see
next
how,
time, guys.
See how my Sunday goes.
Peace out, guys.
Hey, 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 hey! Josh is always right, crown on his head like Jesus in the end zone. Justin's usually wrong, but it's fine, we can lie, call it barely wrong tonight. Rasta locks, drop walls come down, Jericho slick in the Sunday crown. Mankind masked behind the screen, but the beard's trimmed clean. Fantasy Now Plus just broke the town. Start, sit, showdown, wave a wire glow. Dynasty Kings on the Dynasty and 30 show. Will and Tim trading rookies for souls. DFS picks Brian Rock on a roll. This is Fantasy Now Plus. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, let them know. From the expo stage to the Discord range, where your headquarters, watch the rankings grow. Topher and Flores arguing tears, just dropping recipes for the injury tears. Cry one time when your bet goes bust. Wave a miss, but we still got the trust. Fantasy Now Plus. Fantasy Now Plus. We don't sleep, we just reload. Leave a mailbag, post we got top C. Underdog Sunday, Sean's DFS prophecy. Game day grub sizzling, Monday night football decisions. National tight end week, pure fantasy religions. Got fishbowl, super leagues, sleeper leagues in the dark. Mock draft, slave, rookie, impact, spark. Josh on the main stage, Justin laughing it off. Brian D dies, wheels, trade value, scoff. Topher yells, wide receiver 3. Flores yells, running back dead. Sean says, stack the Chiefs, then plates the spread. This is the Fantasy Now Plus anthem. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, let them know. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Flow, Blue Sky, Reddit, we steal the show. The flagship pod startable.plus.com. The wire never sleeps, discords lit, rankings locked. We run these